Great to have you with us tonight, folks. This is story number one that has me fired up tonight. It's all about what's going on in Wisconsin. Congressman Paul Ryan, he got an earful, and he should, at town after town. Listen at his listening session in Kenosha, Wisconsin today. The House Budget Chairman, he did his absolute best trying to sell this plan, but most of the crowd, well, they just didn't buy it.
I really appreciate you coming out here today to this listening session. My hope to you is that you actually listen to what we're saying in this room and not listen to the high-priced lobbyists like the Heritage Foundation back in Washington. This is middle-class America right here. This is middle-class America. Now, if I'm understanding your plan right, you want to take a publicly administered program such as Medicare and turn it over to a private corporation.
Well, can I get you right there? So about a fourth of Medicare is already administered this way.
Correct.
Medicare beneficiaries who have supplemental insurance, it's administered this way. The prescription drug benefit for all Part D is administered this way. So most of Medicare is already administered this way.
So why the big change? Why the big change? Ryan was on the defensive over his path to prosperity budget all day, which the House passed, of course, back on April 15th. And every time Ryan gets a tough question, he loves to go to this chart that he's peddling at all his town hall meetings. This, of course, is the chart that was provided by the Heritage Foundation. Let's look at this chart. This is how good it was for Medicare, 50, 60, 70, 80, 1990, 2000. But now we're into the real redneck conservative years. They want to change everything. They want to get the New Deal. This is part of the New Deal they want to erase. So this path to prosperity, which I think we ought to be calling is the path to the poorhouse, they want to turn this down and they want to reduce the benefits, and this is how it's going to look in 2020, 30, 40, and 50. Ryan is peddling that his budget will make the expenses be right here and not go up here over the years. He has no proof of that. Here's what we do have proof of. Is that they're going to take the benefits away from you and they're going to give the tax breaks to the top 2%. That's what this plan is all about. This plan is about denying care to people to the tune of $6,000 to $7,000 a year. Are you ready to serve that up, middle classers? We should point out that the median income in this district is just over $50,000 a year. And do you think those folks are ready to serve up $6,000 or $7,000 a year in their Medicare years? Ryan's budget chart, it can't hide. It can't hide from this number. 80% of Americans, they want to keep Medicare and Medicaid as is. Have you ever been to Kenosha? Kenosha is a wonderful town. It really is. Years ago, I used to go there to do coho salmon fishing. These people are hardy. They love what they do. They're hard-working folks. Well, that was before the plants left that were outsourced. Now, this Kenosha town hall had some heart and some passion to it, and the people that were there were more excited about a plan one of Ryan's constituents laid out.
Do not renew the Bush tax credit for the wealthy.
So, does anybody agree with that? I'm just kidding.
Eliminate all pork in all political districts immediately.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Tax corporations and overseas profits and bring the jobs home.
Okay.
Place a windfall tax on oil companies and rescind the $4 billion subsidy.
Oh, we didn't get an answer on that? There was silence after that. Ryan tried, in fact, to turn the conversation around to President Obama. He accused the president of using political rhetoric.
I don't think the president is interested in negotiating on some of these big issues based on some of his rhetoric. I hope that changes. I hope he does change his rhetoric, and I hope he changes his tune. I thought that speech was excessively partisan, very much inaccurate, and inadequate to fix the problem. And so I hope he does change. I, for one, don't think it's productive to get into a partisan bickering match with him on these issues. We got bigger things to do than do that.
Now, did you catch that? that President Obama is not willing to negotiate? Can we go back to the board? You know why President Obama should not be negotiating? Is because 80% of the American people want it the way it is. They don't want any changes. If the Republicans had 80% of the people on their side, do you think they would be negotiating to change? Watch how Ryan used political rhetoric to slap down the very next Wisconsinite with the facts.
You voted to defund Planned Parenthood, which would take away health care for American women who cannot afford to pay it on their own. You also voted to repeal the Affordable Care Act, which according to...
That's Obamacare you're talking about.
Wow,
right.
come on, let's not be partisan. Come
all
on,
right.
let's just go.
But I'm just trying to say, just so people know what you're talking about, the President's health care law.
Now, we're trying to be civil, so instead of calling it Obamacare, I'm calling it what it actually is.
Yeah, you see, he was calling it the name of the bill, but it was the congressman who was calling it Obamacare after he had said, let's knock off the political rhetoric. The voters of Wisconsin have had enough of the Republican lies that have been out there on this, but that didn't stop Ryan. Listen to this garbage.
These aren't coupons, they're not vouchers. They're Medicare-approved insurance options, just like Medicare Advantage works today, just like the plan you and I are in, just like the prescription drug benefit works. It's not a coupon, it's not a voucher.
You know what the bottom line here, folks, is? They think you're stupid. They think that you don't know what a voucher is. They think that you don't know what privatization is. They think that you don't know enough about health care in this country to make your own decision. They think you don't understand a voucher. You know what is really, I think, frightening about all of this is that we actually have elected officials who are out there trying to take away from the people, these people right here, the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, to take away their benefits while they go untouched. Let's talk about Ryan's situation for a moment. Let's see, he's been in the Congress since 1999. He's 41 years old. They have this thing in the Congress, the 50-20. If you're 50 years old and you've been in the Congress for 20 years, you get a hell of a pension, and you get your health care. And you know what? All of those folks that were at that town hall meeting, they don't have the ability to cut any of that for that congressman. It's guaranteed. See, this used to be guaranteed, and 80% of the people want it guaranteed because they've paid into it for years. But now we've got these radicals, and I praise the president for saying that it's a radical budget because that's exactly what it is. And if your mom is in assisted living, and if your mom and your dad are on Medicare and they're on a fixed budget and they got a kitchen table issue week after week, month after month, and you've got a congressman up there who's got a guaranteed pension, who's got guaranteed health care, who can't get touched, and wants to take it away from them and give it to the rich. Notice how the Republicans never say anything about controlling health care costs or investing in education to make sure that we have enough. You see, that would take us down the road of universal health care. You know, and then he's purporting these other ideas out there. The arrogance just pours off this congressman. It's a cool arrogance. There's a lot of different ways to be arrogant. Now, we were talking about redheads last night. I can show you how a redhead gets arrogant. I'm pretty good at that sometimes. But this is a cool arrogance. This is an arrogance where he says, listen to this soundbite, that the people really don't understand anything. Here it is.
It's people who don't understand what we're doing with Medicare. What I find is there's a lot of demagoguery and distortion occurring.
A lot of distortion occurring? Tell me, are the benefits going to be the same, Congressman? Let's have a definition. The answer is no. That's the definitive answer. That is not a distortion. That is a fact. You are cutting people's benefits. That's what's in your plan. That's what you want to do to the elderly in this country in years to come. Why? Because you've got this phantom budget that is going to blow up the record deficit that we've already got and make it even worse because your chart from the Heritage Foundation says it's going to be bad. Here's the other one that gets me. He says he can sleep well at night. Listen to this.
I can go do something else with my life. I sleep very soundly knowing that what I'm trying to do is help fix this country's problems.
You know what? For years, people that had Medicare and Medicaid, they slept pretty well at night, too. But now they're under attack by you, Congressman. And yeah, you can sleep well at night because nobody's going to be touching your pension. Nobody's going to be touching your health care. All you have to do is take more money from the oil companies, take more money from the pharmaceuticals, take more money from the insurance companies, and it's going to be damn tough to get you out of Congress. So you've got pretty much a guaranteed situation, and you're asking the middle classers to serve it up more. For the top 2% who will line your pockets so you can get reelected, I think Wisconsinites are a hell of a lot smarter than that. I started this broadcast tonight saying that I really wanted to be in Kenosha, Wisconsin today, but I think I would have gotten in trouble. I really do. I probably would have said something that was out of line. It would have been the truth, and I would have made a spectacle of myself, so I thought I'd wait till tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern time, to do it. This is a lie. This is wrong for America. This is not what our servicemen and women around the country are fighting for. This is not freedom. This is a government takeover is what it is. It's forcing. It is forcing the money to go to the private sector and Wall Street so we can go through yet another shakedown. Do you think that's what Americans want? I don't. And you know what? When these folks go from here to here, they don't know about liberal and conservative. They don't know about Democrat, Republican. You know what they know about? They know about fairness. And we are lacking fairness in this budget because they want to reduce the tax rates for the top 2% another 10%, from 35 to 25%. They want to reduce the corporate income tax. In fact, at Kenosha today, he even said that he wants to reduce the corporate taxes and reduce the burden on the job creators. Tell us, Congressman Ryan, what job creators are you talking about? Do you have commitments from corporations across America that if the tax rate is cut to 25%, that there are going to be guaranteed hires in this country? You don't have that, but you want us to believe this garbage? We're smarter than that. America is awake. America is alive, and I can't wait till 2012 because you know what? This isn't going away. They've shown their cards.